Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So here we have a 2020 BMW 335, or it's a 235. Very new vehicle in my opinion. You can see we got some pretty bad hazing here. She said that someone did try to do it, and it looks like they may have tried a wipe. So this is what the wipe looks like. Doesn't look too good. I can feel it, so probably be able to just start with a 400 on this one. This side much worse. I don't know exactly what this is right here, but it is pretty caked on there, so might have to do a 320 on this side just to get rid of all that. A little bit of micro cracking over here, you can kind of see it. Not too bad, but overall it'll look much better, so let's do it. Alright, so obviously we're just gonna get it all masked off. It's been a minute since well, it feels like it's been a while since I last made a video like this, so I feel a little bit more connected with you guys when I make videos like these. So I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you are staying busy. I hope you guys are all in good health. I've been doing pretty good. Staying very busy. Which is good. Bad for my sleep pattern because it's hard to sleep. Well, just in general when you're a business owner. Kind of play every part of the business. You can see right here there's a little chip right here. I did explain to her that, you know, I'd made a mental note saying, hey, like you can see right here, I will be taping it up just in case if it pulls up any tape or anything, or any paint. That's what I do stress to you guys whenever you are doing this, because I get a lot of slack, people saying, oh, you shouldn't use blue tape. Well, it's situational. If you are dry sanding, you're not using any water, yes, you should definitely be using automotive tape. But since I am wet sanding, the water really dilutes the adhesive or the stickiness of the tape, so you don't have too much to worry about. Now that is situational, and there's kind of a trick whenever you're pulling the tape up. Don't rip it or, you know, pull off really hard on it. Just be very easy, very gentle with it, and you shouldn't have any problems. I've been doing this for a pretty long time, since 2019, and really only had one incident where the paint was pulled up, and I explained it in a video how the bumper, the front bumper was like really chipped up, like it was in really bad condition. So it's like, hey, it's kind of expected. That's whenever I explained how, even though I had to pay for it, or I didn't even really pay for it. I kind of worked with the body shop and formed a really good relationship with them. So I didn't even have to pay for it. I just restored their personal vehicle. It was a Porsche, and we just bartered services. So I'm just gonna start with a 320 to get it done really fast. I don't see this one taking very long. The only thing that worries me is that passenger side, so we're going to start with that. So I am using 320. It's in the pocket. So we're just going to get a little wet, see how it goes. Oh yeah, that's bad. But actually, no, it's not bad. Coming off pretty good. Yeah, that came out really fast. So that tells me that the clear coat and everything is actually just completely removed. The person who did it prior probably sanded it and removed that all for me. So I'm going to sand with a 320, but I'm going to do it very light. I'm not going to do it super hard. Just want to scuff it up a little bit, you know. So I get a lot of questions all the time. People ask me, between emailing me and just asking overall questions in the comment section, why I wet sand over dry sanding, which I've explained in the past. Both have their own perks. It's more so a preference. But long story short, it's it's easier. Cleanup wise, I can see real time my progress. I don't have to guess. So that's pretty much why I prefer wet sanding. I mean, I don't have to worry about the dust flying off everywhere. Yeah, we're already looking real good. Oh man, look right here. You can see it's like dripping. Wow. Let's see if we can get that off. Yep. That was easy. A little on there. Whatever was used prior might have stained it. So I had somebody reach out to me maybe about a week ago asking me about this new method that they saw. It was a spray-on remover that removed the oxidation. And they're like, yo, what do you think about this? Is it worth trying? And I don't think I've ever really made any comments about it, but I will say that no chemical or anything that you spray on this headlight is going to remove scratches, chips, divots, or anything like that. So this is why I stress to you guys that sanding is the best form of prep. Don't buy any spray or anything like that. Don't just sand it. That gives you the absolute best result, the cleanest canvas to start off with. Nothing is better than sanding. So I just sanded with the 320. We're going to move on to the 400. That's going to remove any deep scratches that I made with the 320. Yeah, we're going to get a good result out of this one. Yeah, this is a beautiful vehicle. I've always been a fan of BMWs. But man, not with these headlights. These headlights are bad. So that is the only pro of having somebody else do the restoration prior when you show up. Because when a customer says, hey, I've had them done before, I only hope that the previous restorer had sanded it, because the first restoration is always the hardest, because you have to remove the old clear coat and all that, and that can be a pain. So if you have a situation where somebody's already sanded all that, it's going to be easier for you. It's going to make your job easier. Yeah, we're already good. We're already good to move on to the 600. And the way I can tell is by the scratches. So over time with experience, as you're spraying, you could see the headlight, the scratches made by your sandpaper, whatever grit it is. And as you're sanding with the 400, because you can see the divots, or the not the microscopic, but you can see the scratches made with 320. So as you sand with the 400, you can see them disappear. So now we're going to finish it with the 600. So I don't know if you can see, but as I'm spraying, I can see some stuff on the inside right there. Some internal haze. Regardless, these things are going to be so much better than what they were. But back to the sanding process, or just something else I want to comment on. Whenever you're spraying the water, see how it's getting behind the tape. So it's slowly but surely loosening up the tape. So I don't have to worry too much about it removing any clear coat or paint. Now, if you have if a customer just got their car painted, or the paint is already deteriorating, that you've got to be very careful with, because no matter what tape you're using, automotive tape, painter's blue tape, if the paint job is weak, or if the paint is weak, it's an old vehicle or something, or it's just beat, that tape is going to remove it no matter what. So here you can see how the water's starting to repel, so that means that the surface of the headlight is slick enough to where even the water can't stick to it. So that tells me that we're in a pretty good spot. A little bit longer, because I always say the more you sand with 600, the clearer it's going to be. Alright, so we're good to go to move on. Now, the way you pull it up is you just gently pull it. You don't pry too hard, and you won't have any issues. Just kind of lift it up a little bit, just like this. You know, you don't jerk it off. No pun intended, but you don't like pull it off really aggressively, and you shouldn't have any problems. Now, again, if it has weak paint, it's an old vehicle, the bumper's just completely beat, you know, chips, scratches, all that stuff all over the place, no tape is going to not do that. Pull it up. So I'm gonna spray some of this out, clean it up a little bit. Man, it is getting hot. Alright, so next step is we want to dry it. We're going to dry all the loose water. So I have the towel here. We did finally get these in, the turbo fan blowers. So far I absolutely love this thing. You just hold the power button right here, and I'm trying to loose water first prior to doing that. Start up here, get rid of any loose water. Just, you want to make it as if you weren't even here, aside from the clean lights. So make sure you dry all this stuff up, which we will be having these on the site too. These drying towels, I absolutely love these things. Alright, so I'm just going to blast the corners out, all this trapped water. So you want to try to clean everything up prior to taping it up, because you don't want to say that it's still dirty around the bumper area, and I spray it and it's drying, and I'm cleaning right here, and the towel touches the headlight. You're going to cause a little smear or a little mark. So when you're cleaning, make sure it's one process. You're cleaning the whole thing. Alright, so next, mask it off, which I'm using the old one. This is actually the new ones that we have on the site. I was testing it and it works great. So they're cheaper than getting them at Lowe's. Comes with the blades, so you don't have to buy that separately like you have to at Lowe's. So saves you some money there. And it saves you time more than anything. So we're going to very gently put that on there. Try to hook it in there. Right here. Looks like there was a minor fender bender, so the gap is kind of missing on there. So gotta just try to get it as close as you possibly can. Run your nail on there to get it on there really good. But yeah, we're finally in summertime, and I am not happy about it. It is so freaking hot. Not even hot, it's just humid. Humidity sucks. And I made the brilliant decision of going with black uniforms. Not my greatest play, but it is what it is. I'm going to order some new ones, some of those ones that you traditionally go take with you on the boat, those little sun, I think they're called like sun shirts or something. these spots right here. So right now I'm just going to mask it off really well, and then I'm going to alcohol wipe it. So it is all set. So now we're going to alcohol wipe it. Ugh. I know it's a little messy in here, but it is a work van. So I have 91% rubbing alcohol right here. Spray it. And we're going to sanitize the lens. Don't use Windex, Dawn dish soap, nothing like that. Just want to use regular rubbing alcohol. The sun's out, so I don't really need the fan or the blower, but I'm going to use it anyway. We're good to go. Oh, there's the breeze. There's the breeze. Obviously I'm not editing this out. If you guys can, please don't, if you have questions, don't reach out to the business. You can email me at startrestoringheadlights@gmail.com. I've had people reach out to the business, which is not ideal because you might not be talking to me. Alright, so we are good to go. You can see that stuff right there. It looks like drippings. That looks like it's permanent. Permanent or on the inside. So whatever they sprayed on here, as I said, you have to be careful when you're using these sprays. I'd imagine the previous attempt at this was some sort of cleaner or something, like oxidation remover. Sprayed it on there and it just stained the lens. So, alright, we got no wind, the sun's out. We're using the Next Gen Headlight Solutions clear coat. Sand it to 600 and then spray it. We're going to do a test spurt. Comes out horizontally, so just going to do 50% overlaps, about 4 inches from the lens. You want to go with the contour of the lens. Don't go like this. Contour of the lens. Alright, yeah. So it is self-leveling, so you can see it's obviously very, very wet. So just let it sit. I like to keep it in the sun, just to kind of warm it up prior to spraying. Whenever I'm on my way to the customer, I like to shake it in the car while I'm driving. But yeah, I got the decals done and everything. It was only 900 bucks, pretty cheap. I want to do a full wrap. The full wrap is 2,400. My dad actually had this idea because the headlights were hazy when I bought the Transit. He's like, you should do a before and after on that side. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So now you can kind of get an idea of what it'll look like when we restore them. I thought that was pretty clever. So shout out to my pops. So this side we're going to use 400. Because I don't see any like crazy wax product or anything on it, so should be good to go. Yep, that was right. It's coming off super easy. Now, one thing to note when you're sanding, see how it's yellow? That's the oxidation coming off. When it's starting to turn white, that's how you know you're at the raw headlight, so you're actually sanding the headlight when it's white. So I'll show you as I sand. So this obviously being a BMW, and I know it would have been super difficult if it hadn't been done prior. I was under the assumption that it was the first time being restored. It's $250 for this one. We're starting to do quote systems now because, you know, regular vehicles like Honda CR-Vs, Honda Civics, stuff that's fairly quick, you know, it's still $89.99, but for ones that are much more difficult, that take more time and more material, we're offsetting that by charging extra. So, because you have to justify, okay, if I can do 3 Honda Civics in the time it takes for me to do 1 Mercedes or 1 BMW or something, you know, I have to offset that. So Let's take a peek. Alright, everything's gone. See how it's white? That's the raw headlight. So at least sand until you're seeing white. And then you're in the green. Whew. Sweating like a pig. I would say having this thing though, transit, oh, it's so nice. Because I can just go. I don't have to constantly monitor, make sure I have enough material, because I just keep it all in the car or in the van. Alright, so now we're moving on to this 600. And there's the wind. Luckily that side's already dry. It was directly in the sun, so it should be tack free. So one other thing how you can tell whenever you're done with the 600 is as you're sanding with your hand, you can feel the friction. So I can feel right now it's giving me a little pushback. It's not like super slick, like just glossing over it, and I can hear it too. So I'll keep hitting it, and then right about now it's good. So now it's super easy to glide across. So that's one other benefit of hand sanding, is that the headlight kind of talks to you on what status it's at. So alright, let's get in there. Show this side some love. Yeah, we're doing good. I can only imagine how much these cost, especially with it being an M series. It's an M335, which I think is a V6 twin turbo, or no, I think it used to be, the 335i's used to be V6 twin turbo. I think they converted to a single turbo. Alright, you can see the water's repelling, so we are square with the house. We're good to go. Try to finish this before I get a severe farmer's tan. Same thing, start the corner, nice and gentle. You want to lift more than peel. I know I try to do it as much as I can, but sometimes you're kind of on autopilot. Don't worry, that was already there. So you just kind of lift. So rather than peel it like this, you want to start outside and then just lift. There you go. So let's give her a good scrub. That side looking good, aside from some issues on the inside, which I will show you. Gloves off. Get the blower here. I like this blower a lot more than my other one because it's so tiny and compact, and I did quite a few tests with it, meaning I used it for a day without charging, and it worked perfectly. I was like, well, let me do like 5 jobs with it and see how good it lasts, and it held up. So at this point, whenever I get in the van, I just throw it in the charger. So I don't even know how long it'll last, but at least 5 jobs. And I'm doing like taking my sweet time with it. So you hold the power button right here, and then just hold this button. Try to blast any trap water right here, because like you let it sit for like 30 minutes and it might drip out and it'll have like the white on it, so it looks like it's like permanent. Because I have had cases where a customer will text me and say, hey, like, what's this white stuff on my garage floor? The concrete, is it permanent? So no, it's not. these rags are perfect. I've been using these since I started. You can get them at Walmart, like 10 bucks for 300. So highly, highly recommend. So we're gonna dry it with this one and then alcohol wipe it. Not that it really needs this, but there, nice and dry. Now we're gonna rub the alcohol. Now, one thing, here's a little gem of advice. So when you are alcohol wiping, the time it takes for it to dry by itself, or just dry in general, if it takes a long time, that means that it's humid. And when you spray it with the clear coat, you might have a lot of flash off. So if you see that, and the customer's out here watching, just say, hey, just so you're aware, when I spray it, due to the solvents in the clear coat evaporating, it's going to look like crap, it's going to look hazy, but it'll dry over. So see how I'm wiping it, and it's drying fairly quick. So that'll tell me it'll pretty much have no flash off when I spray it, kind of like that side did. So we're done with this. So over there. Those things do come with 1-year warranties. So now this, we're just gonna very, very gently, same thing, pull it up. Don't rip it. I try to put them parallel to where I came off with on this side. I'm usually pretty bad at it, but still something you can try. That way you kind of have the same amount. I usually end up having extra, so we'll find out. Maybe I did good on this side. Ooh. So if you need to test it, you grab the back side of your knuckle and just tap it, and yep, it's already dry. So if you use your finger and it's not dry, you're gonna have a massive fingerprint on there. So that's another tip for you. Press it in there, and then one other thing, as you're doing this, obviously you're standing over the vehicle. Right now I am sweating, so if you have any sweat on your forehead, on your eyebrows, or whatever, be conscious of that, because I am speaking based on my experience. I have had that happen before. I was taking the tape off, or the masking paper off, and I leaned over, and sweat from my forehead fell onto the freshly coated lens, and I immediately looked up. I'm like, what the hell? It's not raining. Where'd that come from? And it's from my sweat. So you don't want to have to explain that to the customer. I was working too hard on your vehicle and got some sweat on it, so I gotta redo it. Alright, we got one right here. So, oh. So if you are watching this video and you are just interested in buying a single kit to restore your own headlights, make sure that you are trying to do it in the middle of the day, where the sun is out the most, where there's as least amount of humidity as possible, because that flash off, so when you spray the headlight, there's a process called flash off. It's when the solvents of the clear coat evaporate, meaning that the hardening properties are activating, and there's a whole process that's going on. If the solvents in the clear coat don't evaporate fast enough and the hardening properties take into effect faster, the headlight clear coat is going to harden with the flash off still on there. So that's why it's important to make sure that the can is shaken up really, really well. Make sure that it's at room temperature, because you don't want to have to go back and redo a lens that's clean. I just got some flash off on there. Take this up and just to be safe. There we are. And then obviously we're going to wait for the wind to calm down and then spray it. So no polishing, no rubbing compounds, nothing. You just sand it at 600. The clear coat has filling properties in it, so you're good to go. Same thing. Test spurt comes out horizontally. Just a 50% overlap, and then you're going to look for any textured spots. See the flash off right there? See how it's a little hazy? It's slowly evaporating. We're actually watching it. It's evaporating really fast. Right here, and it's gone. So just like that. And like I said, it goes on thick, one coat. You don't wait an hour and apply another coat. That's it. You're one and done. I don't like how this stuff looks right here, so I'm gonna just common courtesy. I'm actually looking to get one of those big 15-gallon buckets, putting them back here and have them like the sprayer. Still debating. Obviously be very careful when removing this, because if it is still wet and this flings back onto the lens, you're going to have a massive smudge mark. So, my God, be careful. Nothing is worse than doing like a really perfect job and then you're rushing or you're being negligent. Alright, so whenever I take the glue out or the tape off, it always gets in my hands and it gets like a little sticky, so I'll just grab some rubbing alcohol and kind of spray it in my hands. I'm good to go. Alright, so we're just going to do a final inspection. All the stuff is gone. Good to go. Yeah, that looks freaking good. Really good. We were able to get all that gunk out. You can see there's some dirt or something on the inside. It's also some haziness on the inside too. So overall, 10 times better. Alright, I'll show the before and afters here in just a second. Alright guys, so here's the end result. You can see this thing looks like glass. I mean, it looks brand new. So much better. There's actually no micro cracking over here. This side, you can see it a little bit, but there's like stuff on the inside. You can see it. Looks like it got water on the inside. Actually, look at that right there. See, there's a burn mark right there. I wonder what happened there. But overall, so much better. So, thanks for watching.